Hello, lovers.
Roses are red, violets are blue. We really want to share our conversation hearts with you.
Welcome to Likewise's second annual Week of Love with a new bookish episode every day. I'm Issa.
And I'm Sam, and we're so excited for you to join us and our author Galentine's while we share our love for romance books.
What can I say? We love love.
Week of Love, day 6. Wow, so exciting to be here, but also so sad that it's the last day of the week already because Week of Love is just so fun. And we've been having a blast with it, even though it's been a very chaotic week for us.
Yeah. But it has been so much fun and truly the cherry on top has been like just talking with each of our guests and then leading up to our release day for our book. Um, Honestly, it feels like a fever dream that it is out when this episode goes out, that it is up. People have read it, people are buying it. Yeah, it's just that's so fun.
Yeah. No, it's weird. I don't know. I'm excited.
Okay, but also it's really funny because it's actually out now. I mean, it's not like out, but
Yeah,
Amazon
still
has it out.
yeah, like the our paperback went live because they like go live in GMT, but the ebook is still not. It's still like just in regular like pre-order mode or whatever. But
That's so silly. But yeah, so this is so fun. Excited to talk more behind the scenes of like the whole process to the release. Everything like we put question on our story today and had people ask questions like whatever they were wondering. Honestly, I really thought we've covered it all before. So I'm like, I really don't know
yeah.
how we're gonna do 2 episodes for the release, but yeah, everyone's curious about it, which is fun. So we're excited to get into that. But before we do, of course, if you have ever listened to Likewise or if you've listened to Week of Love, then you know that we start every episode with roses and thorns, and this one is no exception. So, Sam, what are your roses and thorns for today?
My thorn is that um I have such a bad migraine, calling it migraine city. I'm stuck there. Um and snow. Got a bunch of snow yesterday and the day before, and it was just kind of a pain. It's like best case scenario snow though, like super lightweight, super fluffy, kind of the kind that just compacts down, like there's no ice with it. Although I'm scared that tomorrow morning is going to be a little icy because a lot of it melted today. Um, and the ground was pretty wet, so I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully not. And then my rose is obviously Me For You releasing. Yeah, it's so wild, and it still hasn't really set in yet, but I'm still excited, as I've said probably 3 times by now.
My thorn is that it has just been such a busy week and um it's like Valentine's week is always just really busy for me. So the fact that Week of Love is Valentine's week, rough, but so worth it, so fun. Also, I've just got some like big life stuff going on right now that I'm like trying to come to terms with and figure out and process. LOL. So that has been um thought-provoking to say the least. Um, yeah, well, maybe that's not, I don't know. It's just like it's just there and it's stressing me out, but it's fine. Rose is that overall, like it really has been such a good week. It's been really sweet and Week of Love, this is my love letter to you. So love. It's so good. It's so fun.
Yes. Oh, Week of Love. Can't wait to do it again next year.
Sure.
Um, I'm excited to like listen back to all the episodes because I have not done that yet with all of them. But the ones that I have been so good. So yeah, I'm just excited to catch up at the end of the week, maybe over the weekend, and just reminisce on the amazing conversations we had with our friends. So yeah.
Yes, so fun. I know I only listen back for editing purposes, so it's been more like not really listening to it, but I mean, listening just enough that like I catch things and can take things out and stuff. But so it's been more of like an analytical lesson than an entertainment lesson. But even then, there's some things that I didn't do, and I feel so bad. I'm so embarrassed. You know who you are. I'm sorry, I love you. But anyways, yes, I need to listen back just for fun, but maybe that'll have to be a few weeks because I can't do things immediately. That's rough. But um, yeah, I think overall, like these Sam and I, like we've already talked about them. We're like just thinking about the conversations we've had. We're like, dang, these are some of our best ones. Not just because of like, not just because like, oh, we've gotten better at this and like this is so fun and people are so comfortable and blah blah blah, blah. But like, I don't know, just the conversations we're having every single time we have a guest. I feel like it's better than the last, and just every new guest episode becomes my new favorite. So I can't choose. They've just all been so good and so eye-opening, truly. And it's been such a joy and pleasure having these relationships with these authors that we get to talk with them and that like that they want to be here. So yeah.
Yeah, so fun and so special. And yesterday's episode was super fun too. Getting to kind of have our own author like moment. So, um, yeah, it's just fun to be in our guests' shoes, I guess. And now we're just excited to dive into all that good behind the scenes stuff. And we're going to start with the questions that we got from you guys. They were really good and they were great questions for us wanting to do like a process deep dive for this episode to like really go behind the scenes in that kind of way. So I'm glad a lot of the questions were about process type things so that we can kind of like I don't know, cover all that good stuff in like a fun way. And it's good that like, okay, people do actually want to know these things.
Yes, so agree. So agree. Um, because like it's like Sarah just said, we already wanted to do a process deep dive, but I think with the questions we got, we're like, okay, this is so much better than anything we could have prepared. So excited
Mhm.
for this. So the first question, we'll just jump right in. I say that as if we haven't just been talking for like past 10 minutes or whatever. So first question is, how the heck do you co-author and how do the two of y'all share writing responsibilities? Does one person take a chapter, etc.? So things like that.
Yes. The question that is everyone's question always, because it's just so intriguing. So honestly, our like saving grace, the thing that like we probably could not function without as co-authors is our spreadsheets. We are very much spreadsheet girls. They like dictate everything we do for this together. It's just really how we effectively stay on track and organized. And we have talked about these spreadsheets a little bit before, but why not talk about them again for anyone who may not know? Um, because they've been awesome. So we've got two important sheets, and one of them we call our chapter tracker, and the other one we call our master calendar, which we actually use the master calendar for both likewise and book stuff. We have like separate versions of it, but it's just very useful for us to just visualize everything that way. Um, obviously like Google Calendar is a thing and like actual calendars like that are a thing, but this type of like spreadsheet calendar is so cool and way more useful for us. But before I say too much about the calendar, let's dive into the chapter tracker.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love the chapter tracker. That literally the chapter tracker and the master calendar. Oh, those are probably the two best ideas we've ever had. Chapter tracker, like, yes, it's great for the book because it's literally called chapter tracker, but like, I think if we adapted it to the podcast, like, it would make it so nice.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I've gone back before and I've seen that like we did at one time kind of have a similar thing set up for the podcast and just like stopped using it after like a month. Um,
Hmm.
which was probably me because because it was definitely like um something like you set up and I was like, wow, yeah, I love that. And then I forgot it existed. But the
Me
chapter
too.
tracker, fantastic. It's exactly what it sounds like. Um where we kind of have every single chapter listed out in this spreadsheet. And then we've just like customized different columns to best fit the needs of our book and to be able to like make it easy to read for both of us, for like what's in progress, what we're working on, what if something's done. Um, but since we're co-authors, what we do with ours is we have a column in it, where we mark, like we put our names down in it, almost like assign ourselves that chapter. So like if we came up with the idea for a chapter and we really want to be the one to write it, um, we like throw our names next to it in this column. But it also just helps us see like kind of like who is doing what, or like we kind of somewhat pre-assigned them before we like wrote and we change them around all the time. But it helps just to see like what the other person is already doing. Um, Especially when I go in and I start writing a chapter, I mark it as in progress. So then it's like, okay, that one has content in it or like is going to. And so it's like you can kind of check in and like read what I'm working on or just know that like, yeah, that one's done. So like maybe I'll be able to write the one after it next, or I could work on the one after. I don't know. It's like an organized chaos kind of thing. Um, but yeah, we really lean on those drop downs of like marking the status of the chapter. Um, and it keeps everything straight. Like we know what comes before the other thing, and then there's also, a chunk to like describe a little bit of what's happening in that chapter.
Yeah. And something else we did is like we didn't put it put like a key down or legend or like whatever. Like we just color. So
Yeah.
the story is dual POV, Kate and Hallie. You get to see inside their heads and stuff. So we just color coded like the chapter number and the chapter name, chapter title. We just filled the cells with a different color to say Kate. And then if it wasn't filled, it was Hallie. And then after that, yeah, like Sam was saying, like we would assign chapters. And honestly, that was like a super fluid thing. Like yeah, we would say, oh yeah, Issa, write chapter 63 and Sam will do 64, Issa 65, whatever like that. But sometimes Sam would be like, you know what, I'm actually feeling inspired, so I'm just gonna start this one. And I was like, cool, because I have nothing. Um, but yeah, no, the chapter tracker truly like so life-saving. And do not be fooled by our little um yeah, so Sam was just saying that we have like a little brief description box of like what's going on in the chapter. Do not be fooled by that. We are plantsers. So we are plotters and pantsers, and that is rough because we're so inspired by like the middle end of the book and like middle beginning that we didn't write the beginning part first. And so then we had to like fill stuff in to go with it and around it. And it's like, shoot, now the middle part is that we loved isn't working anymore. So then we had to figure out something else that we really loved, which we were able to do. And it's like that was fun, but also stressful because it's like, shoot, how do we do this? So do I recommend writing out of order? No. Will it happen again? Likely. But yeah, the chapter tracker like just helped us know what was going on and like we were really good about updating it. I think there were only a couple times when we're like, oh shoot, I meant to do this, but totally forgot. It was probably like in the middle of writing, or maybe at the beginning when we still weren't used to like the system yet. And like throughout we were still adding like different columns and different like categories and stuff. So yeah, but we finally figured out what works for us. And so that was really, really nice. And then yeah, love the chapter tracker.
Yeah. It's like it's truly the extent of like how much plotting we do. Like the tracker is the plotting. Like that's at most there is for that. So it serves as a really good, just kind of all-encompassing outline almost. Just maybe not with as much detail as other people's outlines may have, but it works for us and it's the best way to keep track of it for two people. Honestly, I mean, we had other reasons for picking songs for the chapter titles, but it made it so easy that it was songs instead of numbers because being two people communicating back and forth, we'd be like, oh, I'm writing Swimming in the Moonlight. I'm writing Tiny Moves. Like it, like w we associated what was going on and like what chapter that was and where it is in comparison to other chapters by the name of the song or like referring to the songs with acronyms. Like if you told me I'm working on chapter 8, good luck. I would not know what that meant. Because like, okay, how many did we like add or move them into different spots? Like calling it a name is so much easier.
Yes. Oh, for sure. I think even if we were to like give them like titles that weren't song names, I would still be like, I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah.
So I think the song names were definitely good for us, and it made it that much easier. And yeah, I thought it would be so fun. I would be like, okay, I was like, Sam, hear me out. Jukebox musical, but a book. And she goes, yeah.
You're
And
like,
then
what is
so
that?
that's like how it started. And that's like why we use song titles as like the chapter titles. But then it got to a point where we're like, okay, well, we need something to connect point C to point E. So then we like started searching for specific songs or like being like, okay, what's a song that fits here? Like we'd write out a chapter and then have to like find a song to fit it and stuff. So it's like I would say it's two-thirds jukebox musical book, and one-third find a song that fits.
Right. No, totally. But yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't say completely, but for the most part, we like split chapters.
Hmm.
But I mean, I think we said this before too. Like, there are some we did collaboratively where like one person started it, the other person finished it, or we just go in and would add things kind of in between and fluff things up. Um, because really it was like, okay, well, even though like this person wrote this chapter, the other person can still like obviously like make changes and maybe like do more of like the edits in that chapter later because like they can look at it a little more objectively or it was very flexible and we still kind of honestly both touched everything. Um, just with
Yeah.
how it went start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. And something else that really helped with that was our master calendar. And that, oh my gosh, I am obsessed with that. Like, that's kind of like what the inside of my brain looks, which is so funny because if you met me, I feel like you would not think that I have something like that going on. Um, because it's like not, but it's there. And so basically what that is, instead of like having like a normal calendar, how, you have all the days and the dates lined up, for like Tuesday is the first, Wednesday is the second, like that sort of thing. We just had like each month was a column. So like each month was going down, and then there were 31 days like going past. And then so if a month didn't have 31 days, then we just black those out and then we put things down in there. So it was just so easy to see everything instead of like putting it just into a calendar and like waiting for that to come up or like having to search it. It's like no, like this is all in one spot. We're able to like see it, and like we marked, like we would update every single day, be like, this is today, this is today, this is today. Um, so that was really, really nice. And I have brought that into other areas of my life, which has been so fun. Um, yeah, it takes me back to my college days when I made a master, um, made like a master calendar for my friends and I, like our friend group, and it was color coded based on how many people were in class at what times. And then I would also say like who was in class. So then we always knew where each other were. Freshman year in the dorms and sophomore year. After that, it was COVID.
Yeah, it's a good calendar setup because like you really just you can see the whole year at a glance. You can see things in like the different colors. Since we always have like the little moving today box, like you can always see in like a perfect ratio how far away you are from like a deadline. Because you're looking at it very objectively of like little spreadsheet boxes versus I was just looking at this for my own kind of upcoming things, but like April 30th to June 30th looks way more realistically close together if you look at it on a spreadsheet like that versus if you're in your calendar app and you have to swipe then to May and swipe down again and see all of June. That feels so much bigger than you actually have time for. And I think when your writing schedule and these kind of extra things in your life aren't your full-time focus, like you already have less time for this project than if you were dedicating every day to it. So, um, it's
Yeah.
just I just think it's a way more effective and like objective way to look at all those different things going on.
Yeah, it definitely lit a fire under our butt like when we needed it. And then we also, of course, color coordinated that. So we'd have like bright yellow box that said today, and that was the only one that was yellow. And then we'd have a color for when we want to post a reel or when we want to do like a post, or and then we'd like describe what it was going to be about, or deadlines, or if we're out of town, so then like one of us can't do something or both of us can't do something, so then like that's just on each other's radar because it's like, okay, Sam's out of town, like she's not going to be doing stuff. I mean, maybe a little bit, but the expectation is no, she's not. Like she can if she wants, but then I'm like, okay, that's when I need to like do something, or maybe we're both out of town, so it's like, okay, nothing's gonna be getting done, so then what do we need to do to prepare for that? um yeah, no, so like Sam was saying, it was really nice like seeing it all laid out, and it's like, shoot, 1 month is a lot less time than we think it is. 2 weeks is like 2 days, truly. And wow, it was just very humbling, but also like so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, it's the days are winding down. But truth be told, I have not looked at it in a while. So awkward. I wonder what today is.
Yeah, no, me too. Honestly, like we had kind of all the stuff for like any really important like days and like deadlines for this time kind of already mapped out for a long time, and because we ramped up, so like the social, like the marks on there for like when we had like posts going live were helpful back when we were just trying to like get consistent with posting. And then we hit a point where like, okay, we're really ramping up the posting, where like we were just experimenting with like every day or like all this stuff, and then we made an exact like pattern for the grid. And so ever since we did that, we haven't really like felt the need to like track posts on there. But I mean, it would be nice. Like, obviously we're probably gonna change up our like posting cadence again. Um,
We don't really have
after
a schedule. We just kind of post
Yeah.
whenever we want to.
Yeah, it's very experimental. So I think like we'll end up with a schedule or something, but um it's also, I think, for us being people who manage like more than one like account, it's helpful. Like we can click over to the Likewise master calendar and see, well, we're posting on Likewise that day, so like maybe let's not do the post on Same Way Books that day. Like we try to like stagger things out, or like, okay, we're recording for Likewise on these days, so maybe let's not put our book deadline on that day.
Mhm.
For, like different writing deadlines we try to set for ourselves. So it's just helpful to compare, but yeah, highly recommend a master calendar. Or just any calendar that makes the most sense for you. But it's helpful
Yeah.
as two people.
If anyone wants to see any of our stuff, let us know and we'll send it
Mm, yeah.
free of
It's not
charge until it gets super popular. Then we'll charge. JK.
bad.
Okay. So second question kind of goes along with this is like, does one person edit? Is it equally split? And then they added, I'm so nosy, but so intrigued. Me too. I too am very nosy. So Um, yeah, we used the chapter tracker for that a lot. And then when we got to edits, we added in like additional columns for each round of edits. So like one for dev, one for copy, one for proof. And then we just said like, okay, this is in progress, or like not started, in progress, done. And that was super, super duper helpful.
Yeah. And with those, like so that's kind of like how we kept it organized. Um, and then how we like actually did the edits obviously changed with each round because they all kind of have a different scope. But the thing we did do every time was we would create a copy of the document we got back from our editor just to like cover our bases, don't and like not lose the previous version in case like something gets messed up. And then we would both read like through all of the comments from our editor and like um just kind of like take note of them, remember them before we like dive in. Like we didn't just like open the doc. Okay, let's see the first comment in chapter one. Okay, let me start working on that. It was like get the full view of what we're working with, and then like let it marinate for a little bit. Like give ourselves a couple days to like think about them and not just go with like the first idea we have. Um, was really helpful. So I'd say that's something we did every single time.
Yeah. And it's really funny, like little insider info. Dev edits, like I'm pretty sure like one of the last it was in like the last five chapters that we actually finally did dev edits, developmental edits. So like those are the ones that are like, okay, well, this point doesn't really make sense, or you said this earlier, or like how does this connect? Like so that things so like developing the story was like the first two, three chapters, which we initially called the prologue, but because there were so many words, it couldn't be the prologue anymore. So we did those last, and that was really hard because we're like, we don't know what this means. We don't know what to do. So we just saved it and decided to not look at it until like a week before we wanted to get it back. And we're like, shoot, now we really need to get down and do it.
Yeah. No, like that was what was nice with like dev edits was like there were a lot more things for us to communicate on, obviously, because there were kind of those harder, bigger changes to consider in some spots. So, um, anything we had to like really think on more, we did leave for like kind of the later end of dev edits, and kind of did other things first, and but still had them on our minds and thought about them. Like we were kind of very much in limbo back and forth all the time, leaving ideas in the comments. Um, and then also just in like texts and voice notes to each other, like brainstorming of kind of how we could like make those changes. Um, so it was a lot of just like ideating and back and forth to make sure we went with what we really wanted and we're being really intentional with those bigger changes or like things that we thought just were harder for us to apply. Um, and just really give them the attention they deserved. Um, but yeah, some of it like we did just have to sit on and just get brave enough to tackle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I think like when I think back to the way the story was before the dev edits and then think of where it is now, like I'm so glad that we like went through it and even though like it was kind of hard, um, it was great. And they took us a while. They took us like a little over a month. Um, which maybe that's not a long, long time in the long run. It was only a long time for us because we really had to get the book turned around so that we could get like our edits done in time for, release.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so funny because I don't think we didn't actually touch it. Like we looked at the edits as soon as we got them back, but we didn't actually touch it and like start doing anything for at least a week, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, we let it sit.
And even in then, like we didn't do anything, we didn't do stuff every single day. So all in all, like it actually, I think it took us only 2 weeks, which I feel like is pretty fast.
Hmm.
But we were still like, oh, it's been a month. And we're like, oh my gosh, it's been a month. We need to get these back.
Yeah, no, they were a challenge, but they were worth it, and we made it through. Honestly, like there were a lot of things from dev edits that I did really enjoy doing, with like some changes being made and like rewriting certain things and um, taking a lot of things and that were maybe a little more telly and making them more showy or whatnot. Like some of that I did enjoy some of the ways that things were rewritten, um, and doing that was kind of fun. Um, but the other phases of editing were very much a blast because they were very fast.
Yeah. Truth be told, I hate dev edits. I mean, I'm so glad that they happened and I like they needed to, and the story is so much better because of them. But oh my gosh, those were like the worst. I hated that. Ellie, I love you, but I hated that. But yeah, copy edits, those ones, like those were so, so good. We actually worked on these during the week of Christmas, LOL. And literally I was like walking around Safeway, just like accept, 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 accept. I remember doing that and it was so funny. But yeah, they're like super simple and just quick to resolve the suggestions. And we both really liked the stage because it it pointed out the things that we were like consistently like messing up on, like grammar, punctuation wise. So lots of the same changes throughout the manuscript, like and the proofread also like very similar to copy edits where we just had like simple things to look over and resolve. One thing that we learned is that we write, what was it, toward or towards or
Oh
like
yeah. We
um
do S's on the end of like if like any ways and oh wait, that's normal. But like towards and uh there was another one that's similar.
well, whatever it is in the book, we had it either with the S or without the S because I truly don't actually know what we did.
We
Um,
had it with and we took them off.
oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so super funny. But overall, like on all of them, like it was similar to writing where we'd independently like go through and make edits and resolve things, marking it on our tracker, and then sending texts and voice notes. It was my favorite thing. Like at the end of the day, I was like, okay, Sam, like this is what I did, blah, blah, blah. Like 3 minutes later, I'm done. I send it, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning for her. So she like wakes up to a voice message from me. So funny. And like a few times like we would work through some lingering edits together on calls, but a lot of it was independent, like when we each had time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. We just are very much opposite schedule kind of girlies from each other. So um the only time we are both like available to do things at the same time together is what we give to Likewise, and we make that like podcast time. So then all of our writing, like, yeah, there was a couple times that we got on like some calls or whatever, but um it's just very much like an independent thing, which is like fun. Because I think we both also get a lot more done when we when we just do it on our own time and our own like creative motivation. Instead of like, hey, we're gonna sit down and try and write at the same time. Yeah, that doesn't work out very well.
Yeah. And then like just our own individual like final proofreads. So like we read through our physical proofs that we have, which is so fun. It's been like so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a real book. That's crazy. So yeah, we were like reading through them to just catch anything final while our e-arcs out were out. And like we found a decent amount of things to change. So like just lots of like stylistic preferences and whatnot. But we did find a really funny plot hole though. So if you were an arc reader and you noticed it, it is gone now. LOL, awkward. But yeah, so it's just even now, okay. And truth be told, I only was able to read through half the book because I started so late because I had such a busy week last week. And I was like, oh, the time I have is Friday and Saturday or Thursday. I don't know. So I was like reading up until the deadline when Sam submitted the final manuscript for the paperbacks.
It was fun. Like it and I loved like formatting the book in Vellum is like actually so fun. Like Vellum is so cool. It's so notes app to me. It's like what it feels like when you're in there. Um so that part was just like really fast. Like I wasn't worried about like the deadline much because like going in and finding the right page and like changing a word or changing the punctuation was so easy. So shout out Vellum.
Yeah. And then for that, we actually, yeah, we used our notes app. Well, I used my note because, like, okay, because very similar to like yesterday's episode when talking about how I couldn't do anything. Like, I can't do anything because Sam has like all of that stuff. And I feel so bad that I can't do anything except tell her, be like, hey, you need to change this because it's wrong or whatever, like, and then Sam going in. So what it is like, I just made a note with like all my changes or like page number, paragraph number, and saying like what the change needed to be. So then I was like, there, it's all in one place. Then I'm not like annoying her with all these texts. But then the note stopped updating, and I don't know why. But but then okay, when you said it updated, it's that was after I like got out of the notes app, like swiped out of it, closed it, and then I got back into it, and then you're like, oh, it updated. I was like, that's weird. It updated on my iPad too. So maybe I was the problem. Um, but oh well. Yeah, so there was that, and then I sent her one final time lapse reading video.
Yes, I love a time lapse reading video. But yeah, so that's I guess just overview of how edits went. It was very much just like we both just kind of would dive in and tackle things like, and it wasn't very assigned. It was kind of just like whatever we went in and felt motivated to do. Um, and like we just kept leaving things like leaving comments up for things that we wanted to revisit like with each other or didn't really know how to solve at the moment. But yeah,
Hmm.
like yeah, didn't assign those, like didn't put those in the chapter tracker of like Sam gets to edit this chapter. Like no, it was just kind of like go through and like do what you can and what you feel like doing, and we'll just keep doing it like that.
Yeah, I will say we did do the easier ones first. Like by easier, I mean the ones with like 3 comments. Unless they were show, don't tell, or elaborate, or just things like that. So, because those ones we saved for last, and that was hard. But yeah, super collaborative, super, honestly, super easy, which I'm so fortunate to say.
Yeah, no, totally. Okay. Next question, I guess. Okay, this question is kind of fun. Because I was also like, there's a lot of different ways we can answer this. So hopefully this is the right answer. Oh wait, we also kind of already said this, so oops. But the question is, what was your routine? And P.S. So excited. So glad you're excited.
Yes. So yeah, like we already said, we kind of our schedules are so opposite and being in tip oh my gosh, and being in different time zones also makes it a bit more difficult, but we made a way, found a way. And yeah, so we typically like just do our own little solo writing sessions. But we would be in like constant communication like during and or after. Honestly, a lot of times during, even though that like really distracted us, and we're like, shoot, could have been writing so much more. Um, yeah, so, like, and so we used instead of like writing solely in like Google Docs, we use this site called Readsy, and it's super fun because like it sets up chapters for you, and it's like just super user friendly. And honestly, I loved it. And we could set goals there. That was fun. Yeah, so sometimes we'd both be writing at the same time and would creep on the other person or jump in to help, brainstorm slash problem solve. And I always felt so self-conscious when I saw Sam like low marker come up. I was like, oh my gosh, she's reading what I'm writing right now. I was like, let me go somewhere else. But no, it was so funny because like sometimes we'd have like just these massive like writing sessions and like would write like 4,000 words in one sitting. And then we're like, oh, I don't know where this came from. And then they ended up being some of our favorite chapters. Yeah, so oh, it was a lot of texts and voice messages and like updating videos and stuff. But yeah, like mostly individual writing times. Sometimes we'd be together. I would say probably about like 20% of the time we'd be like doing stuff together, but it was mostly writing by ourselves.
No, totally. Exactly. I have not been writing in Readsy. And I think it's because ever since we started doing edits and we were doing so much in docs that like I just was so used to like being in docs, so I just started writing in docs now. But I think I might switch back. I don't know. We'll see. I miss the stats. The stats are so good, and the goals. I love like it telling you like the estimated reading time for like your chapter. There was just so many good things there, and then it also that helped a lot with when we went into edits, like um being in like editing mode if we're in docs like versus like editing in Readsy. So um it was nice to have two different places for the different things to keep that like focus. But
Yeah. Personally, I like having the separation and like being able to just like write in Readsy and then copy paste over. But then it did make like formatting hard, just like in Google Docs and stuff. It
yeah.
made some things a little bit more difficult, but it also made other things easier. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. No, totally.
Okay. This next question, wow, from one of our author friends extraordinaire. What a way with words. The question is, where did the idea first come from?
Yes. Great question. I had to like go deep in my memory to like try and remember exactly where because I feel like there's so many different places we were at the beginning. But this is how I remember it. From like after when we were like, we're gonna write a book, we're like, what would it even be about? And so it kind of went off of things that we both really liked or would want to see in books. So it kind of started with like honestly us loving friends to lovers and brother's best friend. We were like, yes, we want to incorporate those as like kind of the bigger idea tropes. And then our very first idea was to involve pen pals somehow, which is not that out of the box for us. Like this is like an idea we've been obsessed with for a long time. Kind of glad we shifted away from this because so many books this last year had this as like the whole point of the story, so kind of glad we shifted away. But that was kind of the initial thought. And it kind of ties back to like one of our old abandoned business ideas, I guess. So it was gonna kind of do that. but the funniest thing about where it all started, where our original idea was that, Cade wasn't a rock star. He was going to eventually be one, but like not in this book. Cade wasn't a rock star. Hallie wasn't a merch girl, and they were originally really boring, just like plain high schoolers. So yeah. Very different.
I mean, Cade was always going to be cool though.
Yeah, no, he was cool for sure. He just, yeah, like wasn't a rock star yet. Like, but he was gonna be like, he's gonna obviously sing and play guitar anyways.
Yeah, so here's where the pen pal situation comes in. He was originally gonna write her letters, but she wasn't gonna know it was him until some grand reveal. And we spent a couple months, like genuinely, we spent months workshopping this idea only for it to not work out.
Just
Um,
not make sense.
so we're like, how would this happen if it wouldn't? It's like, well, it's fiction, but we want it to be like a really big thing is we wanted it to be like believable. Like we want it to be contemporary fiction, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's also going to be something that no, this doesn't really happen in real life. Like, yeah, maybe it does, but it's not common enough for someone to be like, oh yeah, this happens, you know? But we want it to still feel realistic. Um, but anyways, yeah, safe to say that the story grew into a much better version and is it's the story that it's supposed to be in its final form. And we turned the whole thing around after going to a concert together and decided we wanted to go head first into the indie band storyline instead. And I will say that that concert was, in fact, the Band Camino in Omaha. And then the 1975 in Denver. But like that's when we had our big breakthrough moment because we finally like were together after so long of being apart. But this was actually like still in the like conception phase of
Yeah,
the book.
October
Um
3, if anyone's curious.
yeah. And so we had this like 3 hour conversation on Sam's bed at like 10, 11, midnight o'clock. She had work the next day and we're just sitting there, we're like kicking our feet and giggling. We're like, oh my gosh, we finally figured this out. But yeah, like we yeah. Um I will say though that we did keep their little high school history in. And we also kept him writing her letters somewhat. And once you get to the part, you'll know. You'll know.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, so that was like something that we're like, well, we want to incorporate it somehow. So how do we do that? And we found a super easy way. And yeah, super fun.
Yeah, that is also when we like aged them up. Like when we were like, okay, we're gonna do this band thing instead. We were like, yeah, let's make them college age instead. And I think that helped us a lot with the writing. Yeah. What a crazy development. It's so funny to like look back at our original doc because we still have all that old information. Like the most random things about the characters too, which a lot of them are still true. Um, but honestly, the funniest thing to me is that in this original idea phase, the original cast, um, like it was always going to be Cade and Hallie as like the main couple. Mel and Abbott were Mel and Abbott. Like those four were the same. But we had other very important characters as like the main cast for this book. And um they end up like not really being in the book like at all until like kind of towards the end. Their names are Danny.
Okay, no, there is a mention of them
Yeah,
in
the
the
school.
middle chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
remember.
just thought I was like, wait, they're mentioned twice. They make two appearances?
Right. But yeah, Danny and Mason, and they were originally playing very different roles in the stories. And like our original books for the series, before we changed like the plot lines, involved them in these other books in a very different way. And now the books are very different.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know about our pen pal series, let us know and we'll tell you what we had.
Let's say just one of the ideas on the doc, also included prison pen pals.
That was a joke. But
Yeah,
also how funny would that be? They're in
right.
high school and then there's just like a person pen pal.
Right.
LOL. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Came from a lot of things. It really was just kind of like I think our very first thing was obviously we had the little we should write a book. And then after that, I was like, okay, what would it even be about? Like, why, who, like, what brings characters together? What is like the whole point? And it was just things that were very much just our favorite things and our interests. So, yeah.
Yeah. And like everyone always says, write what you know. And what do we know? Not a lot. We know some of Seattle and we know some of concerts and like indie music and just like music scene. And so like growing up in the Seattle area, super blessed to like have an inside look and having so many like creative friends and people in the industry. Um, we have more insights there too. So that has been really fun working through and doing. But yeah, we're like also okay, also like so like friends to lovers, we love friends to lovers. And we're like, we want other people to love friends to lovers. So let's do that. And then brother's best friend, we're like, okay, love this, which is so funny because again, Sam doesn't have a brother. I have a younger brother, and there's no way I'd ever be interested in one of his friends. Oh my gosh, that would be ew. Okay. I don't even want to think about it. Anyways. But the idea is just so fun, right? And we just really wanted to put like a twist on it, kind of. Because like usually when we see brother's best friend or best friend's brother, like whatever, it's always an off limits situation. But this time we wanted to like turn it a little bit so that it's like, no, actually the brother is rooting for this. Like he's trying to make it happen. It's like, oh, that's so fun. I think it's so cute. Um, but yeah, so that was also where that came from. And for future things in the series, we're trying to work out some kinks in the stories, but just know we're trying to do things a little differently, stray from the formula a little bit, but still be true.
Yeah. You just have to be so unique and defy the bounds of a trope. We don't want to be trapped by a trope. That's so fun to say.
Trapped by trope.
Um, okay. The next question is really funny. It's a great question, and I wish we had great answers, but it is what went through your heads when you typed the end? Um, I remember we did this over FaceTime. Obviously, why wouldn't we have? Like that's a monumental moment. We wanted to like be together. But it was really late at night because at that point we had just we'd been kind of finishing up other things with the chapters right before the last one. And then we were trying to like write the whole end of the last chapter together. And that just took us so long because it was so late.
We
Um
were on a call for like 3 hours writing these final like 2.5 chapters.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it was just very past my bedtime. So honestly, like I was like, yay! But like in my head, I was like, finally I can like go to bed. Even though I was like, oh my gosh, that's so wild. I was more just like, okay, I need to get in my bed right now.
Okay, I'm very glad to hear you say that because it was about my bedtime-ish because it was probably like 10, 11 o'clock for me. Um and I was reacting, I was like, oh my gosh, done. Or like I was acting excited, but it was an act. Sorry, Sam, I was faking it. I was like, it didn't really hit me that we were done until we sent it to our editor. I don't know, like because at that point it was just words on a doc. LOL. But then once we sent it off for edits, I was like, oh my gosh, it's real now. Like someone else is actually reading this story. Like, yeah, we can make changes, but she's not gonna see those. So
Right.
it's like, oh my gosh, this like we're done with it. And that's when it really hit me. It's not the end part.
Mhm.
Oh, I will say though, also when we finally typed the end, I was like relief. I was like,
Yeah.
thank God I'm done with this.
We were just like, we were
Little
done,
did I know how not done with it I was.
right? Yeah, we were just so ready to move on to edits at that point.
Yeah.
So funny.
But that was so funny. Yeah. Okay. Our final question is what plans do you have for celebrating? And then this person may or may not have also sent. Also see you at Send with Spice, maybe?
In fact, a 2026 book signing we want to attend as readers. Okay,
It's readers.
as readers because it would not make sense if we attended as authors because we write YA. So signed with no spice in our books, but Um,
Yeah, this should not be controversial opinion, but stop putting spice in YA novels.
right. So, um, uh, yeah, we will be. We're trying to go as readers because so many of our faves are going to be there. So I don't our friends.
And we're
Um,
like, we're gonna go to Maine.
Sadly, what? That's so cool. Um, but no, I have no plans. Honestly, like that's literally tomorrow, and I'm like, I got no plans. Like, um, I'll probably try to like listen to the playlist just to like be happy about it, and then, I'm going to work. Like, I'm just gonna be doing my job. So, but like TGIF. So,
Yeah. I too have no plans for release, but I'm going to like some friends' places tomorrow night for Valentine's Day dinners. So, LOL. And then going to PBR on Saturday with other friends. So, I'll be celebrating with the Bull Riders. JK. They won't know.
amazing. Yeah, I just like the idea of it being chill. Like it's like treating it like a normal day and like just going in with like being happy and like excited to interact with people on social media, but like not actually doing anything.
Yeah, I think it would be different if we were like together,
Yeah.
but at the same time I'd be like, I don't know. I'm already stressed enough about people in real life finding out about this. I know I really shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't be. I'm like super excited. I'm like super proud of it. But at the same time, like, what are they gonna think?
Right.
Like, guys, we're still working through that from the episode from yesterday. Don't you worry.
Yeah. No, I'll be excited. Maybe I'll have something special for dinner. Have not really decided yet. It would be better if the weather was not so icky right now, but
Yeah.
alrighty. Okay. Honestly, those questions covered so much of what we wanted to talk about for our process and like behind the scenes deep dive. Um, like our spreadsheets. So glad we covered that very much in detail. It took us a while, but hopefully that was helpful. Um, but the only other thing is timelines, which obviously we kept track of those in the master calendar. But just like what deadlines did we set and like how did we set them?
Um, I will not lie. We set them very arbitrarily. Like we just kind of picked dates on a calendar. We're like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that's enough time to get like feedback and then make changes and then send it out again. We did that one time and it was still late. And then our next two deadlines that we had for alphas, we did not send out in time. And then eventually we're just like, yeah, we're so sorry, but here's X2 and 3 if you want. And then we sent it out to our editor like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, we very much were busy. And all of um our sweet alpha readers are like some of our closest friends and they're so amazing. And because we kept missing our deadlines and we were so late, like by the time we like finished everything, like all of them were like deep in their own books that they were like either releasing right then or like trying to finish to release right then. So it was just so funny. We're like, Actually, please don't read our book because you got to do your own." Um,
Yeah. So that's literally on us, you guys. I promise. I promise. Um, the only one that wasn't like not like random, but the only one that was like really carefully thought out was the initial send to editor day. Um, and that day was actually October 11th, and it was like Friday, I think, or Saturday. I don't know. But because we planned it backwards, we're like, okay, release day is February 14th. We want to be done hands off by like January 14th. We knew that wasn't going to happen, but we were like, we want to set this so then if anything does go wrong, then we have that month to like be relatively lax and not have to worry about like big things, right? So we're like, okay, January 14th, that means we need to have like proofread done or like proofread edits back like the first of January or so. And then so then we have like 2 weeks to go through that. We didn't really know what proofread was. Well, I didn't. So I was like, that's gonna take 2 weeks. No, it's not. Um, and then like copy edits before that, we wanted 2 weeks before or like a month before. So I can't remember what we allotted, but we're like, okay, also holidays, so that's gonna be rough. So maybe like December 1st. And then we're like, okay, dev edits, we want to get those back to her by like November 1st or something, or like mid-November at the latest. We're like, okay, well, what's a good date in October? And the only one available was like October 11th. We're like, perfect. That's the one. Um, so yeah.
It was just it was the best date, and that one had, yeah, like the most actual logic. With our other ones, it was kind of more like we picked the same date for each month, and we were like, okay, we'll do like try to finish these acts by the like 15th of these specific months. And then if we like send them by the 15th, then maybe people will have feedback for us like towards the beginning of the next month that then we can implement and whatnot. But then obviously we just like didn't write our book in time and we missed all of those. But it's fine. It was a great thought. And we'll probably maybe try to do the same thing a little bit more. I think having those deadlines to look at of like draft one done or like that kind of stuff. Um, just to try to like motivate yourself to write more instead of just thinking, well, my deadline's not till October.
Yeah. Um, I will say though, we are not going to promise to be better, but we will promise to try, and that's all we can do. But oh my gosh, Sam, we're literally gonna have to start writing book two so soon, like next week.
Yeah,
Bro, we haven't even thought it all through yet. Oh, we need to have big conversations this week. Oh my gosh. Yes, but we're setting an earlier deadline with our editor this time, mostly because Chile has ones earlier. But also we wanted to give ourselves more time because we were like stressing through it. But yeah, now that we like know a little bit more, we feel a little bit more confident this time around.
yeah, no, for sure. Just knowing how long our it took us to like really sit with our dev edits last time, it would just be nice to have like an extra month and all of that. Because if we didn't make it obvious enough, our release dates are just staying the same for these books. So, duh.
Oh yeah, sorry guys, I meant to say that. 2/14/26, expect book two.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much the only deadlines we really set. Yeah. Haha.
That's a year from today. Tomorrow, but today. Yesterday, but today.
That's crazy. And I have edits booked for my book on June 26th or 7th.
Oh my gosh, okay, I'll pick up the slack, I'll write more. Well, I'll just write some. Oh,
Like
stress.
how much of the book we wrote in kind of like a shorter time frame, or like when I remember how much we wrote from like May to July, like April to July, and then how much we wrote from like August through September. Like it restores my faith in what we can do and us getting this book written and just knowing what we know now and just being a little more experienced when it comes to writing than we were. Because before we're like, got no clue what we're doing. Still don't know what we're doing, but like kinda a little bit now. Um, yeah, we'll find a way. It'll happen. I have my initial draft for the book I turn into edits in June. I like set myself an April 30th deadline. And like last night I was just like, oh, what? No.
Wait, is that Project Adagio or
Yeah,
the other one? I don't know what you're calling the other one.
Project Adagio. Yeah.
Okay. Exciting.
Yeah,
Are you
crazy.
calling the other one anything not okay, this is gonna sound so bad, but are you calling the other one anything special? Or just the title?
Oh yeah, I don't have a
Different.
project
I
name
meant.
for it.
Okay.
But it could be I could call that one Love Stuck One because that's like the duology um
Mm,
name. And so it
yeah.
name, I guess.
Yeah. I was also thinking like maybe like I mean obviously it doesn't have to have like project in front of it, but like project the movie it's like
Yeah,
after
yeah.
because I think you've already talked about that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Exciting stuff. Exciting. Wait,
Yeah.
okay, so Adagio is this year.
Yeah. No,
Okay. Oh my gosh, exciting. I hold myself. I know you said that I can read it in the drive, but I hold myself back from reading it.
good. You'll go in and be like, there's really nothing in here. Like, oh, this just hit 6,000 words yesterday. Like,
But that's so funny. No, I'm no, from what I have read, like that first little part that like you sent me, I was like, this is so good. I was like on the edge of my seat. Ugh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yes, so exciting. Well, to have a little extra bit of a party and to give you more of a sneak peek into what you can expect from me for you, or if you already read it, I feel like this would be fun for you and you can like play along with us. Thought it could be fun if we did a little me for you this or that to see like where our preferences line up with things from the book. So, yes, okay. So the first one is these are so like case study what are, like scenarios like when you're taking tests like this is one
Oh
of
yeah.
um you're in
Almost like a personality type.
exactly you're in line to buy merch from Hallie. Are you getting a tote bag or a hoodie?
This is so hard. What if I get a tote bag with my hoodie?
Right.
If I had to choose one, shoot, I thought I made this decision in my head. I don't know. I don't know. This one's really hard. Because like you can never go wrong with a tote bag, but also I love me a good hoodie. I
Yeah.
think I might have to say tote bag.
Wow, I love that. I think I'm gonna have to say hoodie.
Okay, well, then we could share.
Perfect.
Okay, next one. Ali's iced vanilla latte with oat milk or Kate's cold brew.
Gotta stick with my girl Hallie and get that latte with the oat milk for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, Cole.
I do
I
not like cold brew.
can't say.
Kate, you're on your own there.
Um, would you rather, let me turn it into a would you rather. Do a Hemlock baseball game or a try hard concert?
There's literally not even a question in my mind. I love baseball. I love baseball games, but I'm gonna be front row at a Try Hard concert
Oh,
every day of the week.
yeah, me too. Try hard concert, sure.
Okay, this is a juicy one. Actually, the next one's juicy. Jubilee Records or Varsity Diner.
I'm gonna go with Jubilee Records. Love
Okay, me too. Varsity would be fun, but I don't have an in with the baseball team.
Right. No, exactly.
So I don't get a discount.
Oh, okay, the juiciest question. Sean or Scene?
See, before this book, I would have said Sean, but now it's only seen.
Yeah, there's only one right answer and it's Scene.
Okay, this one. LOL. Battle of the Nicknames. I also thought I had my answer for this one picked out. I don't know. Valentine or Rockstar? Is
Mm.
this like what you would rather be called or what you would rather like call someone?
Oh, I don't know. I guess just which one you think is better? Or like,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, or it could be that third option. Okay.
right. Um,
Preferences, preferences.
I think I'm gonna go with Valentine because it just kind of hits different. Like it's such like it's more like it's unique, it's fun, and just when Kate says it, it's just so good.
It's so good. And I like that we haven't seen that one before, but I think I have to go Rockstar. I don't know, it feels so sassy and it feels so fun and it's like ah.
Yeah, it is like it is pretty sassy. It's a good one. Um, ooh, juicy last question. Um, go to a party at the pitch or sneak out with Kate.
Sam, I literally don't even know why you put this on here. Because obviously I'm sneaking out with Cade because secret rendezvous are more fun.
Yeah, no, like what? Why would I stay at the party?
Cade offers to take me somewhere, I'm going.
I'm going.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I feel so cringe answering those, but also that's hilarious. I love it so much. It's a good kind of cringe, guys. Don't you worry. Um, okay. final thing, or I guess almost final thing, is what is next? I know we've kind of already talked a little bit about what's next, but what's next?
Yes. Obviously we said that a year from now, book two will be out, obviously. Um, and maybe, just maybe, you can hear more of the juicy details about what you can expect from books two and three, maybe like trope-wise and things. Um, when we go on our first ever podcast as guests. Like, we've never gone on another podcast as guests before, but we are doing that. We're recording this weekend, and that's going to go up towards the end of the month. And we're going on none other than Megan's Bookish Life, with our bestie Megan. And yeah, just to give you guys some more time to read, and make your guesses. DM us your guesses, please. We want to know. But we make it pretty, we tease it pretty hard, I'd say, in the first book. Like, we make it pretty clear who's gonna be the people for the next books. Like, it's just quite obvious based on who's important in the book, and what's going on. But the order might not be clear.
Yeah, I will say we've had one friend guess correctly. I don't think she guessed in order, but
She
she
doesn't
knew.
get full credit for one. Like, one is correct, but like not correct at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, but this has been so fun. Honestly, it's so fun, like kind of being on this side of things, being like, oh, we're the ones being asked questions. And it's just also fun knowing that like other people are invested in like wanting to know these things too. So we love you guys. We see you guys. We appreciate you all so much for the love and support you've shown us, like not just through likewise, but through same way books. And yeah, so thanks for being our biggest cheerleaders, even though you didn't know, slash maybe you still don't know if we can even write well. Which, you know what? I'm not like taking anyone's um like if people don't like it, that's totally fine. Like that's not for them. Like because I was looking at like some of the ratings for some of our favorite books. I'm like, okay, well, I loved it and it's not getting like the ratings I think it deserves. So I'm
Oh,
okay with it.
yeah, that's a good point.
So we're of course going to close with song of the day. Sam, what's your song of the day?
Oh my goodness. My song of the day is My Turn by SZA. It's just very good. And I've been listening to that whole like deluxe version of her album, um, like all day today. I just felt like it was really chill while I like did my anxious driving in the snow to work today. To like play at low volume and like chill, and it won't be anything that was gonna like make me stressed. And it in fact did not. So yay.
Like, okay, my song of the day is Maybe by Vincent Mason. Bringing back my country songs. And then I was thinking, I was like, maybe I've used this before. I don't know. But my friend and I just discovered that he's coming to like Seattle, Tacoma area, and so we got tickets for meet and greet. I'm so excited. Anyway, sorry, not me just gushing about this guy. Um, anyways, this was so fun, as we've already said so many times. But yeah, truly would be nowhere without you guys. Without without Sam, that's for sure. So yeah, truly such a joy, and thank you for making Week of Love so special and for uh I didn't want to do it, but for loving on us during it. Yeah. So good, so sweet. Um, and thank you, Sam, for spending another evening with me. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Thanks, Issa, and likewise to you all.
Bye.